Eglin Field in northern Florida was miles away from anything and anyone. The perfect location to prepare young, all-volunteer air crews for a top-secret mission.
And Doolittle started planning the raid and realized he needed B-25s, and also realized the best trained crews were out there in Pendleton, out there in Washington. So he had them all sent to South Carolina, and he talked to them, told them it was very dangerous, they'd be out of the country, it was top secret, anyone could back out anytime they wanted to after they'd volunteered. They all stood up and said, let's go. And they went down to Fort Walton Beach and Eglin Field.
So in order to train them, they brought in a Navy fighter pilot who worked with them down at Eglin Air Force Base to try to teach these Army pilots how to be able to take off from the deck of an aircraft carrier. And it was pretty intensive training, as you can imagine. And not all of them were successful.
They spent like 4 weeks, better part of 4 weeks, training on how to do short field takeoffs and how to do celestial navigation over water, and also, most important, how to fly at treetop level for long periods of time at 160 miles an hour, which was probably stall speed for that airplane.
In late March 1942, the crews were ordered to the West Coast and along the way, told to fly as low as possible. This is how Doolittle hoped his pilots could avoid detection flying to, from, and over Japan.
So they spent the next few days hedge hopping across the U.S. And my dad had some pretty funny stories to tell. They were so low to the ground, sometimes they were buzzing automobiles and people were jumping out of their cars and like panic. But anyway, on April 1st, they finally got out to San Francisco, and they flew under the Oakland Bridge.
America's newest aircraft carrier, the USS Hornet, would take the air crews within about 450 miles of Japan. The targets the raiders had been assigned included steel mills and factories, as well as military installations. Some were in Tokyo, others in the city of Kobe, Nagoya, Osaka, Yokohama, and Yokosuka. Even if the bombers could successfully launch off the Hornet, they couldn't land on it. Months earlier, the Chinese military had built landing fields in eastern China. The plan called for the American aircraft to arrive, be quickly refueled, then fly on to China's wartime capital in 1942, called Chongqing, in distant western China. But Chiang Kai-shek, China's leader, thought it was a terrible idea. He feared bloody retaliation by the Japanese military